The new look came to an end after 10 episodes that explored the careers of Coco Chanel and Christian Dior during the Nazi occupation of France and the time directly following the war's end. After 9 episodes teasing Dior's first collection, the new look finally saw it brought to life. The new look was based on the true story of Coco Chanel and Christian Dior, making much of the story predictable, but viewers were able to learn a lot about their designers and their personal lives throughout the 10 episodes. The new look characters have been through many ups and downs, and Christian and Coco couldn't have ended the series on more different notes. The new look episode 9 teased this, with Christian preparing to premiere the new look and Coco suffering the loss of her best friend, Elsa Lombardi. Though Christian and Coco have been on different paths throughout the series, with Christian just starting his career and Coco stalling, their stories have also mirrored each other, with them having more in common than perhaps was expected. This was a big theme in the new look and its finale. Coco lost her battle in the end. She won against the Wertheimers but lost everything most important to her. Since Coco fled Paris and arrived in Switzerland in the new look episode 4, much of her story has revolved around her legal battle with her business partners, the Wertheimers. For most of the series, Coco was losing the fight, with the Wertheimers making profit off Chanel No. 1 while she struggled financially. After multiple episodes of Coco trying to regain control of her company, the Wertheimers finally agreed to make a deal with her in the new look finale. During their negotiations, Coco held strong to her demands, which included finalizing the deal in one day and not meeting each other face to face. Though the Wertheimers initially found her demands ridiculous and asked for an apology she refused to give, they eventually gave in, granting Coco 2% of the gross profit. This was a massive victory for Coco career-wise, but her personal life was falling apart at the same time. Coco had already lost Elsa in the previous episode and André and his daughter Gabrielle were all she had left in the new look. Coco was desperate to hold on to them but lost them in the end as well, thanks to Spatz. Coco had successfully hidden her work with the Nazis from André, but Spatz revealed the truth to her nephew in the new look finale. André, who had fought for the French during World War II, was predictably disappointed and upset, and decided to go to Paris with Gabrielle, telling Coco not to follow them. In what should have been one of the most celebratory moments in Coco's life, she was left with nobody to celebrate with. The new look wasn't really about rivalry. The new look was about Christian and Coco's different paths to success. When the new look began, it appeared to be about Coco and Christian's famous rivalry. The new look episode 1 started with a flash forward to 1955, when Coco was making her big comeback and taking shots at Dior in the press. Though he didn't take the bait, Coco made her negative feelings about Christian clear. However, in 10 episodes of the new look, they only shared one brief scene with each other before Coco fled to Switzerland. Rather than focus on their rivalry, the new look focused on Coco and Christian's different journeys. At every step along the way, it seemed like Coco and Christian were on opposite paths. Christian was an up-and-coming designer while Coco was the biggest name in fashion. Christian was reluctant to design dresses for Nazi wives and girlfriends while Coco cozied up with officers. Yet, Coco and Christian shared a lot of similarities in the new look as well. Christian was trying to make a name for himself while Coco was trying to restore her own reputation and good name. Christian was dealing with family struggles and loss at the same time as Coco was. They were connected by far more than their designs, even if they were never able to see it. The new look finale brought the series full circle. The series ended where it began. The new look's first scene saw Christian being honored at Sorbonne University, where he was giving a lecture to a group of students. When one student asked him about his work for Nazi wives and girlfriends while he was still at Lelong, he gave his answer and the series went back in time to the last year of the Nazi occupation of France. The final scene of the new look took Christian back to the 1955 lecture and the question the student asked him. It coincided with Christian revealing his famed bar suit, the final look in his collection, modeled by Maria Therese. Just before she went down the runway he asked her if she was ready, to which she said no. "Neither am I," he told her, but she went down the runway anyway, shocking those in attendance and solidifying Christian's status as the new face of couture. Then, Christian finished his answer to the student in the new look. He reflected on the Nazi occupation and the difficult time for him in his career and personal life, as his sister was taken away to a concentration camp for her involvement in the French resistance. Though the student tried to criticize Christian for what he had to do with Lelong, he reminded her that she had not lived through that time and couldn't possibly understand it. Every day was a fight for survival, and as Christian put it, for him, creation was survival. Spatz was the true villain of the new look. Spats became more evil throughout the series. When Spats was first introduced in the new look, despite being a Nazi officer, he was a somewhat sympathetic character. He seemed to truly care for Coco and appeared to be affiliated with the Nazis only socially rather than getting his hands dirty. Unfortunately, as the episodes passed, Spats revealed his true colors and became the main villain of the series. When he returned in the new look episode 8, it was as if he was a different man to the one Coco had fallen in love with. In the new look episode 9, he proved just how far he was willing to go to protect himself and his secret when he gave Elsa the drugs she overdosed on. In the new look finale, Coco was suspicious of his involvement in Elsa's death, though she couldn't prove that he was behind it. Spats was only concerned about getting the money he felt Coco owed him. When Coco threatened to withhold her money from Spats, he retaliated with violence. Not only did he tell Andre the truth about Coco's Nazi affiliations, but Spats nearly beat him to death and told Andre that he'd kill him if Coco didn't pay him. In the end, Coco was left with no choice but to give Spats some of her hard-earned money.